I still have rain droplets on me because once again today I forgot my umbrella. That will be on my tombstone. Here lies Abby Keith. She was the worst at rain preparation. I have this theory that there are a few things you learn in college that you don't learn in the classroom. One of those things is how to answer questions. So things like, how's school? What are you studying? Do you like it? Do you have friends? Are you involved? What are you involved in? And you get to the end of your freshman year, I think, and you kind of start to rattle off answers like that. And it's not because we don't enjoy answering these questions, and it's not because we aren't grateful that people care about us and are willing to ask these questions, but it's because we have to answer them so much, because you see people every time you go home or every time you see somebody you haven't seen in a while, which is pretty often. But there are a few questions that are really tough to answer no matter what. Big one is, what do you want to do with your life? Now, I've always been able to answer that pretty easily. I've wanted to be a screenwriter since I was about 10 years old. I've wanted to make films since I was about 10 years old. I discovered I wanted to act when I was probably about 16. But what I've discovered lately is that it's much tougher to answer that question. And it's not because I'm not sure of what I want to do. I still am. Somewhat. It's because I'm not sure of my ability to do those things well. I don't even know that I'm a good writer anymore. I used to think I was. Maybe I am, I don't know, maybe, I mean, I've always heard that a person's harshest critic is themselves. And, I mean, I hold myself to a pretty high standard. I look at the people whose scripts and films and acting performances I admire, and I say, I want to do that and beyond. Not, I want to do something like that, I want to get there someday. In my head, I want to do it now. And while that's kind of cool and that I have this ambition and it's going to drive me no matter what I do, it's really scary because the immediacy that I feel is sort of frightening. You know, I want to be out there working right now despite the fact that I'm still in school, and I'm starting to realize that that was never going to be an option. It's scary to kind of have had this idea about myself in my head for so long. That I'm good and I'm gonna be great and I'm gonna do what I want to do and I'm gonna do it as soon as possible. I'm gonna do it when I'm very young. It's scary to think that, you know, when I was 13 I wanted to be making movies by now, and that that's not happening, and that was never going to be realistic. And I don't think I'm alone in feeling this. I think there are a lot of people that feel this way. Some people my age don't know what they want to do still, and it's frightening to them because they see people who ask them, you know, what do you want to do with your life? And expect an answer. And they see people who already know what they want to do, and they're like, why am I not there yet? Each person has their own journey, and that's much easier to say when I'm not that person who doesn't know what I want to do. It's probably just as scary for them not to know what they want to do as it is for me to realize that I need so much more work before I can go out and do things. That fear, it's keeping me kind of grounded. It's so important for me to keep humble, and I'm learning how to do that now. I'm learning how to be myself in this moment, so I can go on to be the person I've always wanted to be. That's what this transitional period in my life is all about. And even though I'm unsure about almost everything right now, I can say I am sure of 3 things. I'm sure that I'm going to push myself as far as I can and do my best. I'm sure I have the love and support of my family. And I'm sure that I have a year and a half left of college to figure it all out. And I'm so grateful for that. Thanks for listening. I'll see you next week.